Hey guys, welcome back to another Ginger Ninja Gaming video. Uh, Sorry, just adjusting my mic. Alright, hopefully we're all good. We're up to part 6, so let's get into it. We're up to Night of Champions, guys. So in part 5, I went over the build up to Night of Champions, also what's left. So I think we're in October or September now? September, end of September. We'll get straight into it, guys. We have a big PoE planned ahead. I think this is a nice Night of Champions that I have done. Um, Bro, let me end this game. Alright, let's get straight into it, guys. Let's not waste any time. So, first off, the first match. Let me get this going. Is Night of Champions, which I assure you has to be here somewhere, because if it's not, that is ridiculous. Why is... Bro, 2K25 is ass, bro. Where is Night of Champions? How is this not a PLE, bro? How is this not a PLE in the game, bro? We'll do Bash in Berlin, I guess. But it is Night of Champions. So, the first match we have, guys, is the opening match. I talked about it at the end of part 5. It's a massive feud, a big funny, big entertaining feud going on. Edge Logan Paul versus Jimmy Uso. Remember I talked about the poster for this PLE as well as, the feud of this match as well. And so this is titles on the line, one half of the World Tag Team Championship belts and the United States Championship belt. It's a really fun game, really fun match. Also, remember, I think it was in 2025, Jimmy and, Logan have also had a feud back then with Jay as the special guest referee for that match. If you remember correctly. But yeah, in this match, it's a really good star-starter match, but Jimmy wins. So, Jimmy now wins the United States Championship, and he also has the World Tag Team Championship. So we got two belt Jimmy. Two just cut out. I don't know if my headset just cut out. I don't know if you guys could hear. Jimmy wins the United States Championship off Cody Logan Paul. So Jimmy has the World Tag Team Championship belt as well as the United States Championship. Oh, sorry, SmackDown, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship belt and the United States Championship belt. So two title Jimmy, that's his name. He's going into it like that. Next up is for this feud. So after Braun Strowman stood up for himself and went against the Black Mask at SummerSlam, we then had Braun Breaker, who was the one that started being friends and an ally to Braun Strowman. He really stood up for Braun Strowman and Randy Orton. And this is for the World Heavyweight Championship. As you can imagine, this is a big star-studded match, one of the best of all time against the new upcomer future legend Braun Breaker. But remember, this is Braun Breaker versus the Black Mask, and the Black Mask does retain his World Heavyweight. I'm so sorry, guys. The Black Mask retains his World Heavyweight Championship. Next up is a triple threat. And this is a really good match. It's a decent, pretty good build up. And let me explain. So remember how Sasha cost Kamala her cash in against Rhea Ripley's title opportunity at SummerSlam? So here we have a triple threat at Night of Champions. This is, as you can tell, a pretty star-studded match as well. And like I said, remember, Rhea Ripley won Queen of the Ring. She had her title opportunity at SummerSlam. Then Carmella came in and ruined it by cashing in a briefcase. But then when Carmella was waiting for a ref to come out. Sasha was dressed up as a ref because Sasha was, feuding with the Mean Girls. And then, Sasha didn't allow for Carmella to get the pin. And then she ended up putting Naomi over Rhea. And then, I think it was Naomi that reversed. And, yeah. And that's it. So we have a triple threat here. We've got Queen of the Ring, Rhea Ripley versus Carmella versus Sasha Banks, and the winner here is Rhea. We have to give Rhea the win here because, it would look bad if she won the crown and then lost her title shot and then lost the redemption match, whatever. Next up is another match. Next one is another women's match. This is for the Women's WWE Championship. It's a one-on-one match. So we have female. We have, and this is a big match for Naomi because Naomi here is obviously the champion. Remember, she's a babyface and she is defending it against Nia Jax. I can imagine this is a pretty big match. Nia Jax is obviously here to help put over Naomi. Not that Naomi needs it at all, actually. I don't even know why I said that. This is a star-studded match. Two different talents in the ring for the championship, and Naomi retains. So yeah, Naomi retains her Women's WWE Championship. Now the final match, the main event of Night of Champions, is for the Men's WWE Championship. So this is a pretty pretty stacked PLE with so much gold on the line. You have one half the tag team titles, the US title, the Men's World Heavyweight Championship, the Women's WWE Championship, and the Men's WWE Championship, all defended on this PLE. That's pretty awesome if I say so myself. Look at all these Roman Reigns, Jesus. Okay, so obviously the champ is Montez Ford. Now remember, this is the beyond cocky Montez Ford. Thinks he's the best. And remember, he's going against the winner of that gauntlet challenge. And so the winner was LA Knight. It's between LA Knight and Roman Reigns in the end, and LA Knight won. So here's the thing, this is a star-studded match. And Montez is cocky, he's smart, he thinks he's the best. And for majority of the match, Montez Ford is being the champ and throwing around LA Knight. Not saying it's a squash match or anything, but Montez Ford is dealing the most damage throughout most of the match. And then at one point, LA Knight gets towards the end. LA Knight starts to get back up, deal damage, whatever. And then LA Knight goes to do his finisher, and then goes to pin Ford. Now, just like in the main event SummerSlam against Roman Reigns, the way that Ford beat Roman was by quickly rolling out of the ring every time Roman Reigns would hit his finisher. In this instance, Montez Ford went to do the same thing, but LA Knight was smart enough and quick enough and caught him before he would roll out the ring, and then he would catch Ford, roll him back into the center of the ring, hit another finisher move, and then LA Knight actually pins Montez Ford, and LA Knight becomes the new WWE champion. I think this is really important, LA Knight getting a WWE championship opportunity, because in real life, 2026, LA Knight has not held a WWE championship, and they don't know what they're doing of this guy. So I'm giving LA Knight some love in his career. And yeah, so LA Knight picks up the victory here, and Montez Ford is shocked and confused because his strategy thought it was going to work, so it worked with Roman Reigns, and yeah. Now I do have the next week's Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, or just a couple of matches, or things going on. So if I go Raw, just basic Raw. Okay, so Night of Champions just happened. The following Monday, there is 2 titles on the line, and one of those titles was planned at the beginning of the night. So let me go tag team 2-on-2. So the first match, which was planned in advance, So it was advertised, before Night of Champions, whatever. I mean, yeah, Night of Champions. Have um uh remember Cody and Brock are the Nightmare Beasts, and they're actually going after the the World Tag Team titles. Because remember, for the whole year up until SummerSlam, they were holding the WWE Tag Team titles. Now they're going after the World ones, and so obviously they're going after the champs, which is Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. I think I gave him a tag team name, which would be really cool. I think it was like the Puerto Rican something something because they're Puerto Rican badasses or something. I don't know. And they've held it for a very long time. They've held these titles since Backlash, and now this is, which was in May, and this is the final week of the final week of September or something. So obviously on Raw between now and then they defend the title, every now and again, obviously, but I don't have any proper feuds for that. Anyway, this is the first big feud. Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar and Bad Bunny and Damian Priest get destroyed by Cody and Brock, and Cody and Brock become your new. Once again, um, Cody and Brock are in the main event of the tag team division. They've returned and they've come for that gold. Um, so yeah, they're the World Tag Team champs. Also, so that was planned, before Night of Champions. Um, then there was a match that opened the show. So they open the show, they come out and they plan the match, and the main event is the following match. Seth Rollins comes out and he's had enough, and he's like, "Look, I want another shot." So we have Seth freaking Rollins versus the Black Mask for the World Heavyweight Championship. And in the main event of Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins wins the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins learns his mistakes that he made that cost LA Knight, adapted to Montez, viewing the match at SummerSlam with Roman Reigns. In this instance, Seth Rollins learned from his match. Also, this was just an excellent match. This, Randy and Seth always do amazing in the ring together. And obviously, yeah, Seth actually wins the World Heavyweight Championship here. And the reason why I had this on like a Raw and not the actual Night of Champions is I think it was really important to have the follow up to Braun Strowman's departure from the Black Mask thing. And so we have, the Black Mask and Braun Strowman. But then the Black Mask was angry because, you know, he's like, "Oi, Braun Breaker, I know you, and I know that you're the reason why Braun Strowman left me because you put ideas in his head." And then so Braun Breaker and Braun and which there's a the Black Mask loses the World Heavyweight Championship, and Seth Rollins wins the World Heavyweight Championship. And then the following SmackDown, we have the following SmackDown. We have one of the first, the pretty much the first, also another tag team title event. So we have the WWE Tag Team Champs, Jimmy Uso and Sami Zayn. Remember, the WWE Tag Team Champs, and they're going against Fraxium, which is really cool. Are they in this game? I assume they are. Where's my Roy? Bro, there's so many A's in this game. Axiom and oh, here they are. So we have we get Fraxium versus Jimmy and Sammy for WWE Tag Team titles, and it's baby faces versus baby faces. You know, just a nice match. And Jimmy and Sammy do retain. Um, and then in the main event of that night, we have a singles match. Because I mean, on a previous episode of SmackDown, they had this feud, and for the main event of the SmackDown is for the Women's United States Championship. So we have Liv Morgan defending her Women's United States Championship against. Oh my god, if I go. Oh, that's why. It's in mail. Charlotte Flair in a steel cage match, because on a previous episode of SmackDown they had a feud, I guess. And Charlotte Flair wins this. Liv goes to escape the steel cage, and Charlotte manages to pull her back in and then pin her and defeat her and become the United States Championship. And on the following Raw, even though it's a SmackDown background, I'm just gonna keep it. It's even though it's Raw, we have the Women's Intercontinental Championship being defended. So we have Zelina Vega defending a Women's Intercontinental Championship against Tiffany Stratton. Tiffy wins and becomes the new Women's Intercontinental Championship. Remember, Tiffany's a part of the Mean Girls, and the Mean Girls run Monday Night Raw and SmackDown every now and again because, you know, they were originally tag team champs. I think they are again now, though. Yeah, I think I said that they pinned Kiana James and Jada Parker for the tag team titles. And yeah, so Tiffany Stratton is the Women's Intercontinental Champion. Also on that Raw we have, the next SmackDown we have Jimmy Uso versus Andrade for the United States Championship, and Jimmy retains. So I think it's really important giving a proper title, title defense, etc. for Jimmy and as the US title, whatever. I'm not gonna put him back up, but we have on the following Raw. Actually, on the following Raw we have the Nightmare Beasts, Cody and Brock defending their titles against the Creed Brothers. Cody and Brock retain, and we had this build up. This is also on Raw. I have this on an episode of Raw. I don't know why it's on a PLE. Here I have. So there must be a feud between AJ Lee and Becky Lynch, and obviously Seth and Punk of their history. So I have on a random episode of Monday Night Raw, a massive Raw. So the opening match is Cody and Brock defending their titles against the Creed Brothers. Cody and Brock retain, and the main event is Seth and Becky versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. I have CM Punk and AJ Lee win. It's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm gonna skip the next few things because the next few weeks it's whatever. Just pretty much Sammy and Jimmy having a few tag team title defenses, blah blah blah. And then we have a Cody Rhodes versus Chad Gable feud. Actually, I want to get back into this. Which is just a whatever, because, you know, Brock is, you know, he can't show up all the time, even though Cody is a world tag team champ. You know, they're also main event guys, you know, and Brock I don't know, just Brock has something on, so Cody Rhodes is just kind of like a little tiny singles feud. No, it started because Cody and Brock defended the titles against the Creed Brothers. Obviously, Chad Gable was a part of American Made at this point with the Creed Brothers, etc., etc. And so, we have this feud. I have this like 2-3 week feud of Chad Gable and Cody Rhodes, and I remember, I think I didn't write it down, but for like a script line, I had like Chad Gable, calling Cody Rhodes like a, so Chad Gable was backstage with Akira Tozawa, and it was like, bro, you're just a skinny and weak Cody Rhodes or something like that. And then Cody Rhodes got offended again, and then went out and I don't know, started their feud. And then so yeah, we had uh yeah, Chad was like to Tozawa, you look like a skinny or deflated Cody Rhodes or something, or Timu Cody Rhodes or something. I don't know. And so that got Cody offended. I don't know, even though Cody's a heel, whatever. So we had Cody versus Chad Gable in an episode of SmackDown, and Cody wins. And we had on the following in the same Raw that we had Cody versus Chad Gable. In the main event, we had Roxanne and Cora defending their women tag team titles against Asuka and Kairi, the Kabuki Warriors, and the Kabuki Warriors win the tag team titles, which is pretty cool. All right, next up we have the Franchise Wars PLE. Now, I named it this, but I think it used to be called Superstar Showdown or whatever it was called back in the day. And I got a massive, it's a big PLE, but da 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 da. I find I'm just looking. Oh, it's pretty. It's alright. So we have a couple of different matches. Uh, I think we have one, two, three, four. We have 5 matches. Um, and it's pretty much like Team Cena versus Team Authority. It's just like elimination style. You know, the last person remaining wins, and their team wins, or whatever. And the opening match, this Franchise Wars. Also, with Franchise Wars, the theme music to this PLE is Vegas by Doja Cat. Love that song. It's also used in 2K23. Really good game. Okay, what am I doing here? It's one, two, three, four, five. Oh, God, well, let me just do war games for now. Actually no, I'm just gonna have to do tag team. 4-on-4. Now they don't have Franchise Wars, so I should really go create some of these wrestle things. What would look like Franchise Wars? OG Survivor Series. Oh, Super Showdown. I think this was it. Yeah. I'm just gonna use this as the PLE Super Showdown, even though I got a Franchise Wars. It is 5v5. But anyway, so the opening match is the women's match, Raw versus SmackDown. Um, I think this is pretty cool, I guess. So representing SmackDown, we have the champ. So I'll do SmackDown over here. If I can find her. Naomi, the WWE champion. We also have the Women's United States champion, Charlotte Flair, who just won her U.S. title. We also have representing SmackDown. We do have. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I haven't really done this female match planned out to a good extent yet. I will do. I'm so sorry, guys. Just looking at this list. So this is the franchise women's team. Chuck Stephanie Vaquera in there, and Chelsea Green. So actually, yeah, I'll make the women's one 4 versus 4. So we have SmackDown versus Raw. For the female team, oh my god, we have the champ, which is hold on, who is the champ? I literally just forgotten. Am I like that dumb? Is I think I'm... Guys, I'm actually like crazy in the head right now. Who the hell is my women's world heavyweight champion? Um... Oh, it's Jade. My bad. 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 Let me just scroll down here. Okay. So obviously the captain. So the captain's Naomi for SmackDown. Captain for Raw is Jade. Jade Gaga. We also have. I'm gonna have um Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch. Um, I'm gonna have Tiffy. Hello. Who is obviously now the new Women's Intercontinental Champion. And also someone else from Raw. Who was in them? Sorry, guys. Um, oh, just going down. And Zelina Vega. So all of these women represent Raw, and all those women represent SmackDown. Now, here's the thing: I have Team SmackDown win here. The only reason why is because these three women here hate each other. Oh, Tiffy is in a lot of feuds here. Tiffy is and Zelina can't get along because Tiffy just took the Women's Intercontinental Championship from her, and Becky doesn't really get along with Tiffy because of their, Becky was feuding with the Mean Girls earlier in the year, and so they still haven't kind of fully gotten over their thing because of this mistrust, and Zelina and Tiffy hating each other. They lose, and SmackDown wins. So that is the first. That is the first match. The next match is a singles match. We have a SmackDown match, so this would be like a blue themed background. The rest of the matches, the next three matches are men's ones. But so the second match of the night is for the Men's United States Championship. So we have the champion Jimmy Uso defending it against Shinsuke Nakamura. I love Shinsuke, and I give him another good push. If Bro can show up, where is he? Shinsuke Nakamura. Now remember, give him a couple of US title defenses on different SmackDowns, so he has actually got a title reign as the US champ after just winning it against Logan Paul at Night of Champions. Shinsuke Nakamura does win here though, and he brutally, brutally beats up Jimmy during the match, and Shinsuke wins the title. Next is a tag team match for the World Tag Team titles. So, so we have obviously the defending champs. We have Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, and they're going against the now reunited and teamed up for finally. I call them the Monster Dogs, the new tag team, and they're gonna run the tag team division for a little bit, but like they're gonna be a part of it for a little bit, and the Monster Dogs consist of Braun Breaker, and Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman's recovered from his match against the Black Mask and from at SummerSlam, and Braun Breaker's recovered, and they've become a teammate, they've become friends, they've become allies, and these two are now known as the Monster Dogs, and they've gone against Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, the Nightmare Beast. So it's advertised as the Nightmare Beasts versus the Monster Dogs for the World Tag Team titles, and somehow Cody and Brock retain. But as you can imagine, this is an action-packed, brutal match. And Braun Strowman's really good here, helping put over Braun Breaker a bit, because this is still Braun Breaker's early in the career. And I don't give Braun Breaker a big solo push like WWE actually has given him in real life. And the main event, team versus team match. So let me go. Oh, actually, no. What's tag team? Let me do 4-on-4. I wish it was 5v5. I wish that was a thing. So on Raw, we have the champion, who's the captain of the team. We have Seth freaking Rollins, the World Heavyweight Champion. We also have. I like to mix it up, putting different wrestlers in the same match together. Sorry about that. I like putting different wrestlers in the same match, to just like that haven't fought each other or interacted with each other for a while. Like it's new sites or whatever. Anyway, the next person representing Raw is Sheamus. Remember, he had a decent year up until SummerSlam, being the Intercontinental Champion. The third person is Rusev, but he's not in the game for some freaking reason. So Rusev is number 3. Number 4 is Gunther, and number 5 is, who also isn't in the game, Dolph Ziggler. So, I mean, just these 3 alone, Jesus Christ. But nah, also remember, Rusev and Dolph Ziggler are on Team Raw. Just look how stacked this team is. And then there's SmackDown. Representing SmackDown, we have the captain, LA Knight, the WWE champion. The second person on the team is, after losing the tag team titles, he's actually done some work on SmackDown, and because of that, that means he's on the team SmackDown now. Damian Priest is now on SmackDown after losing the match. After him and Bad Bunny lost the titles, Bad Bunny is probably gone for a career break, I don't know, and Damian's moved to SmackDown. We also have Drew McIntyre is number 3. Number 4 is AJ Styles, which looks perfect. And the 5th member, I don't know how to do this. Could I get rid of the 5th member? I'll just get rid of this one over here. Is Jey Uso. And to do this, so what happened was also, I should probably mention this, guys. So the SmackDown after Night of Champions, Montez Ford opens up the show, and he comes out, his music hits, and he's all excited, and he's happy, and he's like, LA Knight comes out first, talks about his victory, being WWE champion finally, and then Montez Ford music hits, and he comes out, and he's all happy and excited, and it's like, why? And Montez Ford's like, I'm here for my rematch. LA Knight's like, what rematch? And Montez Ford's like, the rematch. You have my title, LA Knight. Ford's like, LA Knight, you have my title still. I'm here for my rematch. And he's like, what rematch? And he's like, Montez Ford pulls out this book that he's just created. It's like a funny gimmick. And he's like, in here, in my book of laws that I created when I was champion, it said here that I get a rematch when I lose it. And LA Knight said, oh, because you're the champ, you got to create it. And Montez Ford's like, yeah. And then LA Knight's, well, now I'm the champ. I get to create the rules. And my new book that I'm going to write says that book is trash. It's garbage. It doesn't exist. It doesn't work. You don't get a rematch. Just like how Roman Reigns didn't get a rematch when he won. And then the realization hits. Montez Ford goes full on depressed. And he's like, Montez Ford just like Jimmy Uso had told him back at Backlash, that it's too much power. At this moment, after finding out that he doesn't get a rematch, Montez Ford has just realized that he's lost all of that sense of power. It's a really, 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 really big deal in a big way, and I think this is such like a really big thing that isn't even addressed anymore really in WWE. And I think this would be a perfect way to tell it is this really cocky guy losing his title and the impact that he's now depressed, etc. And he's moping around and he literally doesn't know what to do with himself. And holy crap, I just realized the SmackDown before SummerSlam, Montez Ford had a title defense against Angelo Dawkins. I am so sorry, guys. I just realized. Building up that feud with Roman Reigns, he had this slide, like I said, early on, in like part one or part two or part three. I talked about how he ends up having a feud with Dawkins. He has this feud of Dawkins where Dawkins just like angry because as soon as Ford started getting cocky after his win, against AJ Styles or whatever, he's like, um, Dawkins is like, look, this isn't fair. And Dawkins is angry with Ford because Dawkins wants his teammate back. He wants his friend back. And Ford just takes Dawkins' meanness in a completely different way. And Ford's cockiness just assumes that Dawkins wants a title shot. And so Ford's like, fine, I'll give you a title shot. Anyway, and they have their whole feud or whatever. So the SmackDown, SmackDown 2 weeks before SummerSlam, it's Ford versus Dawkins for the title. But obviously we knew Ford was going to win and go on to SummerSlam to verse Roman Reigns. I forgot to mention that. Anyway, since losing the title at Night of Champions, you just see Montez Ford moping around backstage, depressed, not talking to anyone, looking depressed. He's so overwhelmed and hurt and just quiet and embarrassed, going through all the emotions because he's just lost the most powerfulest thing that he would ever have in his entire career. And pretty much, I think Nick Aldis is like, hey, bro, look, I'm giving you an opportunity here to get back on track, to get your career back on track, and you can help represent SmackDown at Franchise Wars. And Ford finally gets convinced into it, whatever. And then he finds out that the person he has to verse in the qualifying match to get in here is Jey Uso. And it's literally a WrestleMania main event rematch. And this is the thing though, they have this talk, like, Ford finds out that he's versing Jey Uso the next week SmackDown. And Jay and Ford have a promo in the ring where Jay's like, look, I get it, man. I get you, man. You lost all this power. I feel bad for you. But my family tried to warn you about this. I'll try to warn you about this before WrestleMania, and so did Jimmy, leading into Backlash. And Jay's like, and then they have their promo in the ring, and Ford's shaking. He's literally He's literally uncontrollable. And then later on, a promo backstage, Sammy's like, Sammy and Jay meet up, OG Bloodline. Sammy's like, oh, bro, you want to smash it in this qualifying match? And Jay's like, yeah, look, he'll be easy. But that's the thing, though. He's going to be harder, because he has no control over himself. He's willing to be more ruthless, more aggressive, more raw. And that is definitely shown in this with his shaking hands. If you ever go to fight someone with shaking hands, it's best you stay back because they don't even realize how much damage they're dealing. Like that, like dead ass. And so we have, in this match, Ford is shaking. He's just going beyond. He's beating the life out of Jay, but because he has no control over his self, Jay just takes advantage of it and evades a lot of his attacks, and Montez Ford wears himself out, and then just Jay takes advantage and just wins the qualifying match and then gets put into the SmackDown team. Anyway, I have here written for this Franchise Wars match. Sorry, going back to this. Anyway, so Jey Uso, that is now in the match. He gets into the match. Anyway, it says here, Damian does the most damage this match, but he's first eliminated by Rusev due to a low blow. LA Knight eliminates Sheamus. Gunther eliminates Drew. AJ Styles eliminates Dolph Ziggler. Gunther eliminates AJ. Seth eliminates LA Knight. Jay eliminates Rusev. And then Gunther pins Jay, and Team Raw wins. The following Raw after Franchise Wars, we have AJ Lee versus Jade Cargill for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. It's a big build up to that. and Jade retains. And then also in the following SmackDown, we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Damian Priest for the United States Championship, and Shinsuke retains. Next up is Crown Jewel. I only have 3 matches here for some reason, but they're 3 big matches. So please tell me Crown Jewel is literally a... bro, let me pick the damn... Oh, it is. Okay. So let's go over it. The opening match of the Crown Jewel is a singles match, and it's actually for the Men's United States Championship, and it is Jey Uso avenging his brother Jimmy, and Jey is going after Shinsuke Nakamura for the where is this guy? Shinsuke Nakamura. We actually have main event Jey Uso versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This is a more serious Jey, a lot more serious than his Jey in the Franchise Wars match, the SmackDown versus Raw match, and yeah, we haven't seen. He's obviously not. This is not God mode Jey, like Royal Rumble and Saturday Night's main event, 2025 plus. Yeah, Royal Rumble Jey. This is not God mode Jey, but he's definitely more serious. And he's trying to avenge his brother Jimmy, get him back the title, and Jey wins the United States Championship back. The next match is for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. We finally get again. I don't know if I've feuded. I don't know if I had them feud in 2025. We have obviously the Women's Raw World Heavyweight Champion versus the Women's WWE Champion, which is Naomi. This is a pretty star-studded match. The feud here is already there. Like, come on, these guys already hate each other. And, because remember, they've both fought for the Women's WWE Championship, like, last year, whatever. And, yeah, Jade here wins the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. And the main event is the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins, versus the WWE Champ, LA Knight. This is a massive match. Seth and LA go at it for a while, doing all their finishes, all their movesets, etc., etc. But during the match, towards the end of the match, CM Punk comes out and cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase and pins Seth. Now, because of that, not only does CM Punk become the World Heavyweight Champion because he's come out and he wants to pin Seth Rollins, because obviously with his feud with Seth, because obviously Punk and Seth were feuding recently, while it was like I said, there was Seth and Becky versus Punk and AJ Lee. So not only does CM Punk become World Heavyweight Champion, but he also becomes the Crown Jewel Champion. So he picks up the Crown Jewel Champion here, and that is massive. Now remember last year, I'm pretty sure I had Jey cash in his briefcase, yeet in the bank, but he did it after the match happened. So he just won one of the titles, but Punk did it during the match, so he won the Crown Jewel Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship. And I think, yeah, that's a very, very big thing. So Punk, and he overshadows Seth, because up until now, everyone's, Seth Rollins has done the highest of the century, cashing in on Roman Reigns' match at WrestleMania. CM Punk, just completely overshadows Seth, and I think he calls it the highest of the universe or something, especially because Seth and Punk obviously hate each other and want to kill each other, whatever. And so, yeah, Punk is, I think that's what I made it come up with, highest of the universe. I think I was having a highest of the world, because, CM Punk is the best in the world. I don't know. I think it was highest of the universe. Even though universe doesn't really fit Punk's theme, a universe sounds a lot more significant than just century. So, CM Punk wins that. The following Raw, we have a Punk promo. Black Mask comes out and teams up with Punk against Seth before they're about to beat up Seth. Roman comes out and teams up with Seth. So we have, Because remember here, CM Punk hates Seth, and the Black Mask hates Seth because Seth obviously pinned the Black Mask. And so Punk comes out, talks about how Monday Night Raw opens. Punk comes out with his World Heavyweight Championship and Crown Jewel Championship in hand, and he's like, I just did the highest of the universe. He completely makes Seth sound like a joke, and his highest of the century sound like a joke, because literally how crazy is this? And then the Black Mask comes out, and you think the Black Mask is going to feud with CM Punk. But then no, the Black Mask has come out to agree with him and hate on Seth. Because Seth's out in the ring as well, at one point he comes out. And so the Black Mask and CM Punk start beating up Seth, and as they are about to handcuff him to the ropes and beat the living crap out of him, Roman Reigns comes out and teams up with Seth and helps fight off the other two. Remember, Roman and Seth have now teamed up. They teamed up. They became friends again. Somewhat. They became like friends when Seth returned just before Money in the Bank, but they haven't had an opportunity to actually team up yet because Roman was busy with the WWE title. Seth's been busy with the World Heavyweight Championship. Roman was busy with the Wyatt Six. So there's a lot going on, and Seth was busy with franchise wars, so they haven't had time to actually fully team up yet, and so they've become sort of this team. Also on this Monday Night of Raw, we have Damian Priest calling out Brock Lesnar. Damian Priest does this one-off promo on Raw. He comes back to Raw for just one promo, and he's calling out Brock Lesnar. Look, I want to fight Brock Lesnar. Give me Brock Lesnar. For some reason, I can't remember why I had this, even though Damian Priest just went to SmackDown after losing the World Tag Team titles on Raw. But anyway, Damian Priest is back on Raw for one night only, and he versus the Brock, and that's like the main event, and Brock does kill Damian Priest. On the SmackDown, this is a big deal. This is leading up to one of the big storylines, which goes up until the 2027 WrestleMania. Jimmy Uso gets taken out backstage by Dirty Dom. Jay goes to confront him when Liv steps in to support Dom. So backstage, there's this whole deal earlier in the night when Jimmy Uso just gets destroyed. Dom's annoyed at something, and Jimmy Uso is just backstage, and Dom just wants to let out his pain on someone, and Dom just gets a chair, starts whacking the crap out of Jimmy's legs or whatever, and just takes him out. And then Jay goes to confront Dom in the ring when Liv Morgan comes out. Obviously, Liv Morgan being Dirty Dom's girlfriend. And then later that night, Naomi ends up confronting Liv for helping Dom. And then so Jay and Naomi feud with Liv and Dom. Just don't know when they have their match. Yeah, so that starts the feud. So Jimmy's been attacked. Remember, Jimmy is one half of the WWE Tag Team titles, and Sammy's now a bit lost. Like, what do I do? And Jay and Jay's like, look, I'll get revenge for Jimmy or whatever, blah 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 blah, right now. And so Jay is feuding with Dom. Naomi's feuding with Liv because obviously Naomi is the wife of Jimmy, and Naomi's got involved because Liv got involved, and Liv got involved because she's the girlfriend of Dom. Anyway, the next SmackDown, we have two singles matches. We have Jay versus Dominic Mysterio. Jay wins. And then we have Liv versus Naomi. Naomi wins. The following Raw, we have the War Games team starter match. So the two teams and the starter match. Dakota Kai versus Cora Jade. Dakota Kai wins. And then that SmackDown, we do have the War Games team starter match, but don't worry about that. The main event is actually Jay and Naomi versus Dom and Liv in a mixed gender tag team match. Now, I've planned this in my head for a very, 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 very long time. So what's going to happen is... Oh my god, Siri, I'm not talking to you, mate. Okay, thank you. The music thing that come out together is a SoundCloud remix I listened to on SoundCloud, and someone's mixed Jay Uso's theme with Naomi's theme. It goes so hard, it's so good. So that will play as an entrance. It's going to be like the start of it's going to be like a blackout match, like just the entrance, and they're going to come out in fluorescent colors that glows in the dark, and it's going to be Jay and Naomi, and they're going to be eating, and they're going to have like glow sticks, like the glow stick bracelets and necklaces wrapped around them, and the audience are going to have these special glow stick bracelets as well that will light up specifically during this entrance, and the cloud it'll be like the arena will be dark and it'll just be lit up by this fluorescent like neon black light Jey Uso yeet glasses and top, and then Naomi's black light outfit. And then obviously the crowd yeeting, and you just see all these like rainbow lights like yeeting in the audience, and it'll be really, really, really sick. And like I said, it'll be the mixed theme. And it's, yeah, Jay and Naomi in the mixed tag team gender match versus Dom and Liv. And yeah, during the entrance, Jay and Naomi are yeeting together. Remember also, Jay is the United States champion. The winners are Jay and Naomi, but after they win, Dom and Liv get back up and keep fighting them. And yeah, so the feud against, the Bloodline isn't really over. Um, And yeah, I'm gonna stop the video there, guys. But we are very, very, very close. We literally have 2 PLEs left. But I really gotta go quickly do something. So this was part 6, guys. So next up, all we have is Survivor Series, and then December, and the final Saturday night's main event. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is part 6. We went through Night of Champions. We went through Franchise Wars. And we went up, the build up to Survivor Series. We went over some United States Championship stuff, etc., etc., etc. And yeah, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in part 7. Peace.